All right, everyone, class is about to start. Take your seats. Welcome to UGC 101, the podcast about all things user-generated content.
Welcome back to the UGC 101 podcast. I'm your host, Nate Flake, and today we have a very special guest, Nick Castle. If you're on Instagram or TikTok, you've for sure seen him if you're interested in UGC because this man is everywhere. Super stoked to talk to you, Nick. You want to do like a small introduction, probably a little bit better than what I just did?
Sure. Yeah, I'm a UGC creator. I've been in this space for on Father's Day, it'll be 2 years. I literally started on Father's Day, 2023.
Dang. Heck
so, yeah. I mean, I don't have much to add to it, but I love the creative outlet of that comes with UGC. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's sweet. Well, I always love to start with social media is social media, right? So I only see the polished, like curated side of UGC from your reels and from your TikTok and things like that. How did you get into it? Like, I love starting with this question because everyone's has a different journey and it's always super interesting.
Absolutely. So, like for me, I've always been into like side hustles. You know, that's just kind of been my thing. Literally since high school, I was selling candy. I was a kid that was like, give me your broken iPhone and I'll fix it.
Oh, heck yeah.
You know? So I had like an eBay store in high school. That's how, you know, when it comes to like side hustles, that's how much interest I've always had in them. And so I think I was tired of because once I moved from Texas to LA, I got into like reselling sneakers, and I've known nothing about shoes, sneakers. I've never owned like a bunch of shoes like that. So that was a whole thing. Yeah. But I realized it was taking so much time to make just very, very slim margins. Like driving 20 miles for one deal that may fall through when you get there or find out it's fake. And so I was like, I have to try something that kind of fits more into my schedule as a busy dad, as a husband, work full time. And so I was on TikTok, like most people, right? I was on TikTok scrolling. I was literally looking up side hustles in 2023, like best side hustles for 2023. And I saw Gibran's video, actually. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was like the only male UGC creator I saw at that time.
Yeah.
And so I like binge watched all of his videos. I think at the time he wasn't active though, like on TikTok. It was just like a lot of his old videos at that time.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was like, wow, look at this. This is so interesting. And so I had made a decision because usually my children go to my parents in Texas for the summer. And I was like, on Father's Day, when they go to Texas, that's the day I'm going to try this out. And so the next day I created all my socials and I've been like literally in it ever since.
That's wild. So you started by just like, you didn't get on any platforms. You just went straight up like, I'm going to create these new brand clean new social accounts.
Yes. I created this social account. And then the first, I believe if I remember correctly, I was like, man, I have to have some kind of content to post. So I grabbed my old MacBook Air. It was like a 2016. And I was like, let me just create a video like I just got it. And so that was my first video, UGC video that I had posted, was just me putting together a few iterations of my MacBook. So
unreal, like a 7-year-old MacBook too. Unreal. Yes. Dude, I love that because it's so relatable to like people trying to make videos for like a platform or like an audition video, you know, or like stuff for their portfolio, right? It's like you're trying to make something that's not that cool. I mean, a MacBook's cool, but something that's like not that cool seem like super shiny and new, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Dude, that's funny. So you were just posting on, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was posting that so I posted that on TikTok. I created Twitter. I mean, I've had a Twitter, but I've never been active on it. So I just kind of like rebranded that whole thing. I had like 0 followers. So I just rebranded it to UGC and I created an Instagram account. And I was just posting the same video, just cross-platform. And when I first started, that's literally all that I was posting was just UGC videos. So after I did that, I grabbed a phone case and made a video about that. And a few different iterations, and I just used all those videos to whip together a portfolio, and that's literally how I got going.
Did you do what a lot of people do and like block everyone you know on those first accounts, you know?
So on my Twitter, I did. For the other ones, I just created new accounts completely. So and then when people did find me that I knew personally, I definitely gave them the boot.
Yeah, you're like, no, see, I don't know. I don't want this person following me.
I wanted to wait until I at least reached a level of, like I discovered some success first. I experienced some success. Then I was like, okay, now I won't be too guarded. Yeah. But now it's just, I'm open to it because people are seeing me all over and at my job, just everywhere. They let me know. So now I don't even try to filter it too much.
So you still work full time?
Yeah.
Dude, I love that. Yes. I do too, man. I'm the corporate warrior still. Yeah. I'm the corporate warrior still, and I've been doing this on the side, not as long as you, but since last January. So 6 months after you started, I started January 2024.
I did not know that. Like, I love that because I'm sure as everywhere we see, people is always talking about you got to leave your job or you hate your 9 to 5, and then I'm always the guy like I'm
I like this. I like this. Yeah. I mean, I like my 9 to 5 for sure. Do I like, is it like my passion? No. Like, I think I'm fortunate, to have a good job. I will say that there may be some coworkers listening to this, so I gotta be careful what I say. Right. But like, I'm not like pumped to like create shareholder value or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't love circling back. I don't like circling the wagons, all that kind of stereotypical corporate America stuff. I don't love, but I'm fortunate. And I think that's like a good point you make is like you don't have to quit your job to do this, you guys. Like, you have 2 examples of people right here that are doing this while working a full-time job. I think that there's some weeks that are insane, right? I'm not going to lie about that. And you probably have the same thing where you're like, it's not always a easy breezy. You got to sacrifice, right? Especially you got kids and a wife too. And, but yeah, that's interesting. So how long, so from the time you created your first account, so you didn't get on platforms, you're like, hey, I'm going to create accounts based on the account you basically started following and learning from, right? How long before you got your first gig? Walk me through that.
So, to be honest, my first gig didn't actually come from posting on social media. It came from Fiverr. So,
interesting. Hey, I'm a big Fiverr fan. So you're.
Me too. Like that's when I discovered the potential of UGC. Period. Was later through Fiverr because
I've seen you on Fiverr, by the way.
Oh yeah, and I've seen you, of course.
Yeah, that's funny.
But like, so the first 6 months, about 85 to 90% of my UGC income was primarily through Fiverr. Yeah. And so I remember my first deal, it was like some AI photo company or something like that. And I would just remember being so nervous, like just trying to make sure I did everything perfect. And I was using like my DSLR camera. It was just a whole.
Oh, damn. You went hard on it.
And I was holding like it was a phone doing a selfie.
Dang.
I was like, well, how do I stand out? Let me just grab my camera instead of using my phone. And, I was just trying to figure it out. But that video was for $25 before Fiverr took their fee.
Yeah, before the 20% fee, right?
So I walked away with $20. But to me, I was like, because I have a full-time job, I didn't approach this space like trying to make money fast, right?
Yep.
So I took, especially with Fiverr, a very slow approach, lower rates, because I know I needed experience because I had no content creation experience like that. So I needed that experience talking to clients, knowing what questions to ask, to get clarity, to make sure I'm just delivering what they have in mind. And so that $20 was, it was actually invaluable for the trajectory it set me on, just being able to have that first deal.
Yeah. And your first deal, you'll never forget it. Right. It's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for me. And I tell everyone, I literally was on live. I go on TikTok live a lot, trying to like promote my community and my course and all that. Right. The whole, like, the hustle or whatever.
Sure.
I was talking to everybody on live last night about like, you guys, you got to think of yourself when you get onto Fiverr Yeah, I don't care if you're a baller on Upwork or you're a baller in real life. Like if you have 1 million followers on TikTok or Instagram and you're getting all these inbounds, you come into the Fiverr building, you're the new intern. You're the freaking unpaid intern. And you got to just treat yourself like that. Like to your point, $25. You're like, yeah, that doesn't matter. But what mattered was the 5-star review after, because you went above and beyond.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they were probably stunned at the quality too. They're like, dude, what the hell? $25 and we got like this DSLR quality video.
Yes. And I found like, cause that was like my niche, if you will, when I first got like on Twitter. I was just always posting like about my wins on Fiverr. And so there's just a lot of interest there. But I always found that the experienced creators, they struggled with this whole idea like, well, I'm already getting $250 a deal now. I'm already getting $300. So they struggled with getting on Fiverr with no reviews, or nothing like that. And then you're wanting to charge that same rate with no social proof on Fiverr's platform.
You're going to get zero reach out, dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have, and it's hard, and it's not like an ego thing. It's like, hey, I have people in my community that start exact same way. People that I met at trans event in the foundations, UGC foundations, that like majority of them had never been on Fiverr. Like I did a Fiverr training for that community maybe a month and a half ago, and a lot of them had never even considered Fiverr, because I think Fiverr gets a bad rep a little bit for like,
it does.
There's people all over the world. It's cheap labor. It's cheap freelance stuff. It's like, yeah, that's true. Like I got my podcast jingle at the start of this podcast from somebody on Fiverr for like $40. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Like from like Pakistan or something. And there's like amazing, and which is also cool. Like there's amazing creators all over the world.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like if you're on Fiverr, it's like for me and you, it's super invaluable because we have full-time jobs. I don't have time to go hunt. Like I'm sorry.
Exactly.
And I think it gets a bad rep because it's not all cheap jobs. It's not all scam. I think a lot of people are like, oh, it's just scam messages and cheap jobs. Like, dude, I charge $400 for a 60-second video that I used to charge $40 for a year and a half ago. Like, yeah, I had to start. I had to start as the intern, carrying the coffees around and fixing the printers. But like now you kind of get and my other thing, not to go on a tangent about Fiverr, but like, to your point, you had zero experience, which is crazy, by the way. It's crazy you had zero experience, because I look at your stuff now and I'm like, damn, your stuff's way quality. And your video quality is amazing too. I'm like, I don't know what you're filming on, dude, but
thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to get those deets, but
I use the DJI, that's like
the Pocket.
Like I got that for Christmas and I've been rocking with it literally ever since.
Oh, I need the new Pocket, dude. I've got the Pocket 2. I've got the Pocket 2 and I need to upgrade to the bigger screen.
Yeah, it's
you can't buy it,
amazing.
by the way. I've tried to look for it. It's literally sold out everywhere, and it's like
really
whatever. I think it was $500 when it came out originally about a year and a half ago, and now it's like you can only get them refurbished from Best Buy for like $900. I literally looked 2 days ago because I used my Pocket 2 when I travel with my family, so I make little highlight reels.
Gotcha.
But
that's
I had
crazy.
zero.
I didn't know that.
Like you, I had zero editing experience and stuff before I started UGC. So it's good to go back to my point. Fiverr is amazing because if you don't have a portfolio, it's like you're coming, like imagine it's like those memes. It's like, hey, you get out of college and your first job interview, they want you to have 10 years experience. Exactly. And you're like, dude, I just got out of college. How am I supposed to have 10 years experience? I'm 23, Same thing with like having a portfolio for UGC. Like let Fiverr get you paid practice. Like Absolutely. You're getting paid to make videos for your portfolio. I don't care if it's $20. You're getting a professional brief, a professional script, directions of B-roll, which is all stuff that if you're listening to this and you're a new creator, like you might not even know what those words mean. And Fiverr, like literally these clients are giving you the ingredients,
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's literally, that was my mindset. And I was like, the experience that I'm getting from these collabs is going to pay dividends later. So, and of course, incrementally, as I was getting more and more reviews, and 5-star reviews, I would slowly raise those rates again. Yeah, it was just, I was playing the long game. And I think because of usually when you're in the research stage and you're looking on TikTok about UGC and stuff like that, I think there's like this false perception that you're going to make money fast. And so that's why Fiverr usually isn't, people don't pick Fiverr because it's not necessarily a make money fast situation. It's
Yeah.
you're going to make money, but it's going to make the money that you saw on TikTok, it's going to take you some time to get there. And I don't think a lot of people are patient enough to go that route. You know?
But I always try to say like and again, Fiverr, if you're listening, you got to sponsor this at this point,
Right.
Like it's all inbound. It's all inbound. So you can be patient. Like just keep working at your regular 9 to 5 that you claim you hate. And then just have Fiverr set up. And if you set it up correctly, you're going to get people to reach out. I don't care who you are, as long as you have a solid video and your description solid. Like you've probably been through the trial and error with all that with Fiverr, obviously, right? To get where you are now. But like it works. It's like, it's fact. It's going to work. You're going to get reach outs. You're not going to get a $500 deal your first time. Like you're a newbie. You're going to literally have it's going to say new next to your face on your gig. Right. And so that's interesting. I didn't realize that you started on Fiverr. That's super interesting.
Yeah. Like that's from the people who were like following me from day one, that was like my thing. I became known as like, oh, that's the Fiverr guy.
Yeah.
And then I love working with them too now, just period. But it's not as much right now just due to like the demand of everything else. So I just, I get a lot of messages still, and then I was falling behind in my response rate, I had to boost the rates up a little bit just so I could
keep your status.
DMs could stop a little bit.
Yeah. You gotta boost those rates, especially if you're like doing other stuff, because then it's like, well, if I'm gonna do them, I gotta do it, especially after the 20% cut the Fiverr takes.
Absolutely.
You got to make up for a little bit. So when did you start so you were on Fiverr, let's go back to that. And then when did you start getting inbounds from are you doing inbounds? Like, I guess I probably should ask that. I'm assuming you are with your social media following and things like that.
Yeah. So right now, due to the demand, I still solely work off of inbounds, and it does keep me very busy, so basically I was taking all the videos that I was creating from Fiverr, like those deals, and I was just reposting them on all my social media platforms. And that's how I gained my following. Cause again, when I first started, that's the only thing I posted was UGC samples. Like I didn't post anything else, but then I was like, well, there's gotta be something about me that stands out from the other creators who only post UGC, examples. So I was like, let me make a slight pivot and still do my UGC example videos, but I also want brands to see that, I have a personality. Like there's a personality to me that would, give me some distinction from your next male creator or whatever the case may be. And so that's what everybody's calling personal branding these days. It's just finding that a personality and distinction and just leaning into that, because that actually has opened up opportunities that's beyond just like your typical UGC video type stuff. When I believe when brands see that what you're capable of and the type of content you're capable of creating and producing, then there's other opportunities that will find you that's not necessarily UGC specific, but maybe they'll want you to do something for their website or for their YouTube channel. Or I've even had offers of, people following me, like sending a crew and following my processes for a week to create like a mini documentary on how this stuff works. And so I don't think that would have happened if all I was posting was UGC sample videos, Yeah. So I think,
they don't get to see behind the curtain a little bit, right?
Yeah, exactly. And plus up until I started UGC, I never considered myself a creative person. And so all this is like discovery for me. So I just lean into actually just doing things I enjoy, like creating that type of content when I have the time and just seeing what I can come up with, Yeah.
I think that's interesting is like from someone, I think me and you are very similar. Like I had never done any editing. I had never done any I basically forced myself to learn CapCut when I got on Fiverr. Yeah. And I just figured it out. Right. And I think that we're similar that way, where it's like, I have so many people, friends, family, whatever, coworkers, even that are like, well, how do you do that? Or how I'm like, dude, and I'm like, maybe if they want to know, maybe like the regular Joe Schmo wants to know this. Right.
Yeah.
And I think people think of like personal branding. At least when I first started hearing about like personal branding, I'm like, like having like an aesthetic like website or like a logo. Like, what are they talking about, right? But they literally mean like just showing your personality. So I like how you phrase that.
Yeah, and that's one thing I like to talk about as well, is because it's like, unfortunately, just due to like social media era, we're just used to not necessarily putting our authentic self first, like before the camera. We're so used to like putting on, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to leaning into authenticity, that's actually a learned skill, because we do the other thing first. So there you have, like, that was a struggle for me. Like, even when I think about when I first started UGC, it was all about paid ads. That's what I was creating content for. So when a brand reached out for more of an organic situation, that was a struggle for me, because I was just so used to being super salesy, super
scripted.
Yeah, super scripted.
Yeah.
And I think that's just, it's very similar when it comes to creating content where that shows that element of authenticity, because we're not used to that. That's usually something that's learned as you go later on, you know? And so I still think I'm leaning into what that looks like and unfolding that, because I think a lot of times we just post what we see everybody else posting, you know, that type of content. That's why every UGC creator, they get started, and then the next thing we do is we give tips, you know?
Yeah. And then we sell a course.
which I'm okay with. Like, I'm totally cool with it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I just want creators to know, like, you don't have to become like a coach.
Yeah.
You know, that's not like the rite of passage. And I'm all about sharing information, right? You know, whether you have a course or not, providing that value. But I think some people feel like it's this box. It's like, do the content, the UGC stuff, and then become a coach, and then like a guide. And then they're asking questions like, what do I do now? Like, what am I supposed to be posting about now? And I think a lot of creators, they eventually find themselves asking them questions like, well, what am I supposed to post now? You know, that's a challenge I think most creators have.
Yeah, I think it's so funny what you said about being like, you would think being authentic would be the natural thing, and then like learning the whole like editing thing would be the thing you'd have to learn. But you're exactly right. I mean, it actually is super like not coincidental that a lot of the things I post on my TikTok that are like behind the scenes type stuff, that's like, hey, here's my kitchen that's literally ripped apart. And it's funny because I get kitchen videos right now and I don't have a kitchen, you know, like really? Those are the videos that like perform better. Like, and it's just like the stuff that would be like, I guess, like embarrassing or whatever. It's like, if people like to see that, because I think it's relatable.
Absolutely. Yes. And I'm all about that. Like, they want to see the blooper reels, you know, they want to see you stumbling through that script or having that brain fart moment, you know, like, because it just makes you more relatable. Like, when people see just the person who shows up and they're hitting their $10,000 months and they're got the aesthetic Instagram layout, you know, it's like, well, that's good for you, but I don't see how I can like fit into that, because I'm definitely not there. I don't have an aesthetic layout. You know, I don't have none of that. So I think just showing those moments just makes you a little bit more relatable to your
and it's attainable probably, right, too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's hard. Do you still get people that are like, I wanted to ask you this because you probably get a lot of people messaging you like, what kind of camera do you use? Like, how, like about your content on Instagram and stuff. How do you handle that? Like, do you, I guess, how do you handle like the constant, like people wanting tips and tricks and advice and stuff like that? Yeah.
So I think in different seasons, I handle it differently. Like early on, like, a lot of people were hitting me up in the DMs just asking questions, and I would be able to, I was getting back with everybody, like, because I was just so excited.
Generous guy ever.
Right. I was so excited to just be learning how much I was learning and like, man, just sharing that information. But then, of course, as you get busy, you don't have the time to respond to everybody. So I think when it comes to like the equipment I use, I created like the Amazon storefront for the items that I use. And
cool.
From the cameras to the tripods I use, and I don't even promote it, but when people do ask me, that's when I do send.
Here's a link. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's just convenience at this point, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I don't like be expecting much from it, but every once in a while when I get like a new gadget or something, I'll make a video about just how I'm using it in my processes and like a before and an after, and I just have it like linked in my bio. But that's that's how I go about it these days.
So you brought up a good point earlier. Like, you had never made content before. Were you into tech before, or did this push you into tech too? Like, were you into gadgets and stuff before you were in sneakers?
So when it comes to gadgets, I would say like iPhones. That's what I was in. And it was funny. Like, I didn't even own an iPhone. I just knew how to like fix them. Like, again, this is just going back.
Going back to your side hustle.
But
so wait, you would fix them yourself?
Yeah, I would fix them myself.
Oh, you would fix them. Dang, I thought you would like take them and get them fixed and then resell them. That's wild that you knew how to fix them.
So I was like buying, and then it got to the point I was like buying like bulk of broken iPhones from eBay, and then I had like the little kits,
that's unreal.
Repair kits. So that's as far as my knowledge goes as far as gadgets. But since starting UGC, of course, I've had like a massive interest in cameras and things of that nature, and just because I've also done some on-site content shoots for like local businesses. It's not something like I promote, but I would like to in the future when I have time, whenever that.
Yeah. When I have time, like that's the golden words right there, man.
Yeah. And so I'm able to like test out some of these gadgets, like I did a video for a salon that's local where she was coming into like a new studio. And so one day I just kind of came when she was doing hair and just made like a whole sizzle reel, if you will, like a promotional type video that she could post on her website or social media. So I think UGC has just kind of piqued my interest in a lot of different areas when it comes to content in general,
Yeah. Can I ask you about this is something I'm interested in. So selfishly, I want to know how, like, I see a lot of creators doing, and I think it's awesome, doing local, like in-person shoots. Are you approaching them or are they approaching you?
They're definitely approaching me. I haven't like,
that's wild.
I haven't, I think getting into some like local Facebook groups, I think I am a part of some of those actually. And then, you can just share kind of what you do and your stuff is kind of shared that way. But I'm in Santa Clarita. It's like a suburb of LA. So it's not like a big city at all. But I think when you lean into like the local market, there's not a lot of people doing stuff like that.
Yeah. Your world gets small really quick, right?
For sure. And most companies don't even know what a UGC creator, what a UGC is.
I know. So you're educating for the future generations.
Right. They're like, what are you what?
UCG. Yeah. They always say it wrong too.
Absolutely. But I did like it. It was a fun experience loading up all the stuff I just use here at the house, like all my gadgets and stuff, and just going there. And before, like with this one client I have in mind, I just kind of laid out the type of shots I was looking to get. Here's a sample video that I'm trying to aim for that gives us some inspiration. And they just allowed me to just, do my thing. So that was a very, very enjoyable experience with that client. So I was like, I can see myself doing this a little bit more in the future.
Yeah, that's wild. That's really cool. Yeah. I've never thought about getting in with like local Facebook groups. It's just like business groups, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
That's sweet. I need to do that.
Local businesses, entrepreneurs. So you had your local tax person who started their company in there. They're kind of just talking about talking about what they do. And I think usually when people, because, there are people who's really into like support your local businesses.
Yeah, I love it.
So when they have something that come into mind, they go to that group first, So I've been able to even do some work with some local real estate agents. That's a whole untapped market.
I just did a real estate video, not for a local person though, but for like a real estate app.
Gotcha.
But that's a smart idea too. Yeah. Like, I mean, you can think about like how hard real estate agents go on social media lately, which is like, it's actually really funny with all the trends and stuff.
It is funny. Yeah. I love it. But then like now it's not enough to just be like a real estate agent, like with a business card. If you don't have a social media presence, like what we've been seeing with those real estate agents, then you're going to be forgotten about. Because most of us, when we're getting ready to buy these days, we're going to check social media.
Yeah.
And we're going to see like, oh, this is the real estate agent I want to go with, because we kind of already know them by their social media presence, opposed to someone who doesn't have it at all. So
that's super
even
smart.
with the way they're doing their listings now, it's completely different. They're posting their listings on Instagram. So I was able to And that's the thing. You lock in a few real estate agents who are active in the business. You lock in 3 to 5 of those a month, and that's literally all you would need to do to make a solid amount of money per month. Just shooting content for like 1 or 2 houses each.
So you're doing like the full run through like of the house and everything?
I have, yes.
Dang, dude. Yeah. Those like sped up ones that are way cool. I like those.
You
got the gimbal?
Well, with the DJI, I just
dude. You're filming on the DJI. You don't even need the gimbal.
Absolutely. And so it's like you can go there at a time. Like sometimes I go on like my lunch break, and the real estate agent doesn't have to. Like sometimes if they want to be in the video, but I'm just getting the code and I'm just capturing. Yeah.
You're sending to them a couple of transitions and some freaking some text. Yeah, that's sweet. That's actually a great point. So I wanted to ask you, I like asking this, what is like one of the coolest things you've gotten, like actual product from UGC? I'm always like super intrigued by the answer for this question.
The coolest thing, man, that's a good question, actually.
While you're thinking about that, the what's the worst thing? You don't have to out the company, but what's like the worst product you've gotten to, or like the most embarrassing?
I mean, I think the worst is probably some supplement gummies. Like I just hate doing those things.
But they for sure don't work. Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly. And then you have to like act like you like the gummy, and I'm like spitting it out in between the cuts.
Yeah.
And I think one time I did like for a cheese company. That was probably the weirdest. It was for a cheese company, and I guess I was like, I'm not really a cheese guy. You know what I mean? But
you're not into artisan cheeses.
I'm not into cheese like that, and then let alone like these gourmet cheeses. And I'm like, now, why did I agree to this? Like, what am I doing?
And you're having to not like have the worst face as you're eating every single piece.
Exactly. Like, oh, this is the greatest thing. Yeah. But I've received so much, and I guess because I'm such a low maintenance type person, like I don't have like these ideal brands I want to work with. So that's why this makes it really challenging.
And you can't answer. You can think about it if you think about something. Like for me, like I always go with the most expensive thing. I got like a nectar bed, which I was stoked about.
Oh yes, yes, yeah.
And I feel like nectar's going way hard on UGC because everyone I know is doing nectar. I'm like, dude, these guys are giving out like, you get a bed, Absolutely. You get a bed, you get a bed. I'm like, dude, hell yeah, they're making sure we're all sleeping for sure. That's awesome. What is one thing as you kind of got started and you started getting inbounds and you started getting on other platforms? How did you get into? Because I know you do, and I may be completely wrong on this. I know you have your own agency now, right?
Yeah, I mean it's like 40 days old, but yes, I do have my agency. And
how did you get into that? Like, how did you just decided one day you're like, I'm already doing this already. I might as well start on the other side of it.
So that's a great question. Like, to be honest, I had no intentions on starting an agency. Like that wasn't in the car. Like I didn't have that on my goals or anything that. Never thought about it. It was just a thing to where I leaned into the needs of current clients I was working with. And so there's retainer clients I've been working with, a few of them for like 2 years already as a UGC creator. Almost 2 years as a UGC creator, just monthly content. Right. And so one day I was just like, I believe that I was like, I'm so connected to the creator community. Like I've been like your primary creator, but I think of diversifying the content, getting some other people
not involved. Just using me might be good.
Yeah. It's like, I think like it could, you could really take the brand to the next level and you could scale it in this way. So I just like very organically brought that up in a conversation. And surprisingly, they said yes. And I was like, oh gosh, now what I do?
Yeah.
So with them saying yes that's what like I was doing the work before I even like announced it. You know what I mean? So I didn't have no processes in place. I didn't know what it was going to look like, but all I knew is that if I went to the creator community, because there's so much value I've just given out over the last 2 years since I got in this space, I knew when I needed like a creator or something, that there's people I could just reach out to individually and, they'll hop on the opportunity. No questions asked, hands down. Even if it was lower than their usual rate just because of like the relationships
Yep.
that I've established with people. So I think that the network is just so key and critical in this space as well, because there's so many collaborations and brand deals I've had just from, fellow creators remembering me, thinking of me, and then shooting them my way.
Yeah, just from knowing people. Well, and it probably makes it nice too, like that you have seen other people's content too. So it's like it's been vetted a little bit before you, like you're not going to just send a DM out, like you're not on your story and be like, hey, I need a creator from Idaho that's like, a male 40 to 50-year-old. Like you've seen people's content, so like what you can trust and what you can't, which probably also helps because that's your name on the line at the end of the day.
Exactly. So then I'm only reaching out to like those creators that I know, because I had some, like I said, my agency's been going for like 40, maybe 50 days now, but I've already had some bad experiences when I just try like creators, like just in general.
Yeah.
From applying for the collab, but then signing the contract, completely ghosting, after signing
no address or nothing. Wow.
Like just nothing. And I mean, thank God in this case it wasn't like a physical product. It was more of a digital product.
Oh, that's nice.
But still, just no response. I'm seeing this person like post on their story still.
Oh,
they're very active on social media. Yeah. So I'm like messaging them like, hey, did you see my email?
Yeah, they're cool vacation, but what about this job you signed for, dude?
Exactly.
Wow.
And then it was like, then I would get one response and say like, oh yeah, sorry about that. Sorry I missed his email. Going to be on it. And then days later, the deadline's passed, no communication. Ooh. So I had to my very first collab as an agency, I had to drop a creator in the middle of it and just bring someone on. Like, I need this done in 2 days.
Yeah.
But it really had me thinking, because I'm so used to being on the creator side of things, but it just really had me thinking like how brands must feel, when it comes to working with some creators, because I was able to very quickly experience that side. I'm like, man, I'm never going to work with that creator again. Ever. And I think it just put a different perspective. Now I'm like, knowing even more specifically what I'm looking for when I work with creators. Communication is like number one on that list.
Number one. Well, there's a reason, like going back to the Fiverr, the start of the conversation, like when you submitted your first few videos that you thought were trash, right? I thought my first few videos were trash. As a now that you've seen the brand side, they're probably like, oh dude, this guy Nick responded every time, and he got me a video within the deadline, 5 stars, and you're like, damn, I thought that was the worst video I've ever made. But 80% of it is like the iceberg is like that video, and then the rest, the tip of the iceberg. But the rest of it that you can't see is communication, being reliable, having a good response rate, like all that stuff. It's like, I mean, you work a 9 to 5. It's every other business. It's super, super valuable to have communication skills, but specifically with UGC, it's so invaluable.
It is. Because so many parties are involved, right? To make a collaboration happen, it's so many parties involved, from the creator, the brand, and then in my case, if you're an agency, that's just a whole nother element in the mix. And so it's managing. It's a lot of managing. You're really I'm a project manager by day. It's my day job. Literally with the agency,
project manager by night too.
Yes, absolutely. So
how do you? That's a good segue into my next question. I know how I have answered this in the past, but I want to hear from you, because you're the first person I've talked to that works full-time job and also does this like me. How do you manage that? You probably get this question all the time. Like, you're doing insane amount of things right now with your full-time job and all this other stuff. How do you manage it mental health wise, still giving time to your kids and spouse and all that? I would love to hear that.
I don't know if my answer would be great for mental health, to be honest, but just to share what I do, it's number one, I work from home. So that's already,
plus. Yeah.
Yes. That's already a plus. Now there's some travel. I'm usually traveling couple days to a week per month for my job, or every 2 months, so that makes it a little bit challenging, but I plan out what I'm going to do that day. So when it comes to like, there's not a 15-minute break or a 30-minute break or an hour lunch break where I'm not doing nothing. Like, it's already planned. I already know what I'm going to film during my lunch break. I know what I'm going to film during that break. Like, it's planned out to like to a T that way. And I'm not necessarily the most organized person, but I knew like the only way I can make this work is if I actually like manage my time a little bit better. So I don't go to bed at night without knowing exactly what I have to do the next day, because I don't want to waste time trying to figure out.
Yeah,
you know,
that's time. You don't have time for that. You literally don't have time for that. Yeah,
don't have time.
You got to be super intentional with your time. That's super important.
Yeah, and early on, it was a lot of late nights. So, I would do like a video or two as soon as I got off work, and then I'd be with the kids, getting them ready for bed, getting them ready for all that type of stuff for school in the morning. And then that's when I had to invest in some lights, because I'm like, well, the only time I can film now these days is literally,
it's dark. Yeah.
Yeah. It's in the dark time. But then of course you have those brands like no filming at night. Like we
need the sun sign. Yeah. So you're like 5 to 6. I got to film. I'll see you guys from 6 to 8. Yeah. That's so funny, dude. We're the exact same person. That's so funny. Because you don't want to rob from your kids either. It's like, hey, it's not your kid's fault that dad's an overachiever and is doing all these other things, So it's like you got to give the family time, and then it ends up just being a lot of late. Like, especially, I don't edit while the sun is out. While the sun is up, I do not touch my editing.
No.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah,
I've leave that for the late hours.
Yeah, the late hours, like too late. I've actually fallen asleep so many times with my hand, like middle of a split and cap cut, dude. And I've actually sent one. I did this once. I'll never do it again. It was a very simple selfie style video, and like everyone has, like I've got like I've had a couple like selfie style videos in my portfolio, right? Yeah. Everyone likes different types of videos, but everyone has their spot where they like to film their selfie style videos, right? I've got a park. For sure. I live in Utah. There's a park close to my house with just like the most insane mountain view behind it. Gotcha. And so it's like me and the freaking peaks behind me. It's insane. And so it's the same spot. And I filmed this video, very simple script showing a book. And I was so tired when I cut this edit. And I had to get it. It was a Fiverr deal, dude. I had like literally hours were ticking. And if I go to bed, like it's going to be late by the time I wake up.
Gotcha.
And so I submitted that thing, and they sent like in between nodding off, and it almost felt like I was like drunk texting this company, and they sent me back a revision the next day. They're like, hey, it looks like you cut off a couple things. I went back and watched that, dude. And you would have thought that I was like 5 margaritas deep when I cut it like 4 seconds too early 3 different times, and I'm like, I am so sorry, and there must have been a glitch with my phone. Like I it was too funny, but that's you feel the pain, dude. The late night editing is brutal.
No, absolutely, and that's why, to be honest with you, because I have a full-time job and the time is just so valuable. The first thing I offloaded was video editing. I still like edit my personal branding videos and things of that nature. But when it comes to like my UGC clients, I had to make that switch because, like I said, editing is my favorite part of the creative process, especially when I have like a very clear vision in mind of how I want it to be. But I just knew I couldn't continue to do this or even grow scale if I didn't find time somewhere. And for me, that step that was editing. And because I am I got really good at editing, like Adobe Premiere Pro is really like the one I edit in most. Yeah. So I found and I didn't find him. He actually reached out to me. People pitch to you all the time.
Oh, I get Instagram editors all the time, dude. And I need to. Yes. This is actually a great topic you're bringing up because I'm such a control freak that I haven't done it yet. But like, it sounds like you're a details person, so I would love to hear how you've transitioned this.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I have some tips. So this is what I basically when I'm looking at onboard editor, because right now I have 2. I have one for UGC, and then I actually have like a Christian content page where I do a lot of Christian content, and I have an editor for that content. But basically what I do is I provide raw footage from a previous collaboration, and I give the brief, right? I give the script, and I just see what they come up with. That's like usually the first test, and I'll pay them for it still. But I just want to see where do they like, because to me, if without giving like a lot of guidance, that just at least lets me know if where the skill level is, if it's something that I can work with, or if it's just not a good fit at all. And so if it actually looks like, because there's some people who are like YouTube editors and it doesn't translate into like being a good UGC editor.
Way over edited. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so that's typically what I do. And then I use frame.io. And so that's like this platform. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay.
Yeah, but explain it for the listeners.
Yeah. So it's basically you upload the video there and then you're able to provide timestamp comments, and the editor can go in and just see all the comments at each timestamp, and it just makes editing a lot more seamless opposed to like texting in a note or Word doc saying like, hey, at this second mark of the video, make this change. You're able to just make them right there on the spot, and they can go on, leave comments, and upload a new version of the video. So it just makes the whole editing process so much more seamless. And if you're working with like a brand, they're able to come in and make comments on it as well. And your editor automatically gets it, and they know what to do without you having to say like, hey, the client wants you to change this, this, and that. So it's just more of like an automated process. So that I use that when I'm sourcing editors as well. And so I've been fortunate to have an editor that I've been working with since September of 2023.
Oh, dude. So he knows exactly what you like.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
And I was like his first client. So it just made the relationship just so much. It took a lot of time. And I think I got an editor before I needed one. And this is what I tell people all the time, is because I work full time again, time is just so valuable. I knew if I wanted to grow that I was going to have to find that time. And so I had one in the chamber ready to go just in case there was a deadline that came and something came up with the kids and I couldn't do it. Like I just couldn't do the edit. Like I needed someone I could just, hey, here's the footage. Here's the brief. Because to film a concept, could take 30 minutes. It could take an hour, but the editing, that's what, like I can knock out 3 concepts filming wise in 1 hour.
Easy. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But editing that same content.
Oh yeah. Especially with even just a super stupid thing like a script, right? Where it's like, this is a 60-second script. It may be 6 minutes of like, we're not even the good people aren't doing that in 60 seconds,
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Renaming clips, just all that busy work. So I need to freaking let go of my pride, man, and start doing that. I have such a hard time. For me, like I can't get over the mental block of like, well, if I'm telling them how to do it, I might as well just do it myself. But I know that like you'll have to tell them how to do it for the first few times. Right. Sure. And then especially if you send them a brief that's like, here's the script, here's the B-roll list. Dude, I just sent you all this. Anybody can do this. I just don't have 30 minutes to put this together. Absolutely.
And like early on, so the briefs I was sending, like I would have a brief from the client, but then for the editing version, like I was very, very specific because, you're learning each other in that phase, right? But now I can just send the text version of the script, no guidelines on what to do with the B-roll. Awesome. And it's just there now, but it takes time to get there. And again, it's just one of those things you have to be willing to like make room to invest in the right person, that you see that there's a potential there. You see that they're easy to work with. They don't have a bad attitude.
Yeah.
It's like, you can work with that person. And I've just accepted this, like, cause again, I still consider editing to be my strong suit, but if it's going to take me 3 hours to get it at 100%, like of my time, I rather have my editor do it. And it may be like 90%.
Yeah. You got to let go of that little control, right?
Got to let go of
which is like, hey, again, I talked about this on past episodes. You're your own worst critic, which is why we also, every time I get a 5-star review, I'm shocked because I'm like, I feel like I don't make good content, but like these guys think it's good, So that's a great point. Well, we've been chatting for a while, man. I super appreciate your time. Sure. Last thing is where can everyone, if you're not already following Nick, he is a great follow. I've been following you for a long time since I started doing my UGC thing. What is your Instagram handle? And I'll put it in the notes as well.
Wonderful. Yeah. Nick Castle Creates. That's my handle for Instagram. That's for my handle for TikTok as well. And on Twitter's, unfortunately, somebody has that username.
Oh, sucker.
But I'm Nick Castle _ UGC on there. And I actually tried to like buy it from that person, but they're not even active on Twitter.
Oh,
so
that's the worst, dude. They should be, if they're not active, it should like go back into the public domain after like a month or something. I feel like they can't just like sit on those. Well, is there any other things you want to share? Like, I don't know what, like, again, your agency's pretty new. Yeah. Like this is your chance. Like if you're like, hey, I need creators to sign up, or if you want people to like join a guide or anything like that, anything else you wanted to share?
So I will just say, like, be sure to follow my Instagram and TikTok, because soon I am making a post where I've been working with creators, you know, on a case by case basis, but where I'll officially be sharing a link for those who want to apply to be on my official creator list for my agency. Okay. I will be sharing that within the next week or so. So, yeah, just follow my socials and you'll be able to see that post when it happens.
Love it. Okay, it'll be in the show notes, so go check those out. I'll be first on that list to hop on and register. Man, I'm excited.
Wonderful.
Thanks, to work with you in some capacity, I guess. But I super appreciate your time, Nick, and we'll catch you maybe on another episode another time, man. Have a great rest of your day.
Would love to. Thanks, man.
All right, see you later.